apathy. We are not a priority. You can say we are a priority, but values are not actions. To our residents and the council, this is an injustice to all the rural communities that hydrate major urban areas across the country. Everyone from my own newest newborn to our eldest elder deserves to live in the city of Carnation without fear. This is why, after the 8th false alarm of the dam in only 4 years, enough is enough. We have a long road ahead of us, but I, along with other members of the council, have taken the first step towards declaring our position that the dam needs to be drained. Our children's children will not be raised in the shadow of impending terror. SBU, Seattle, and King County must prove now that that is unnecessary. Thank you. I will now pass it to Councilmember Nelson.
Hello, my name is Brody Nelson. I'm on the City Council for the City of Carnation. I just wanted to explain what it's like in the City of Carnation to deal with this. I have a 5-year-old at home who's dealt with this now over the last 4 years, 8 separate times. We've left our family, or we've left our pets behind. We've got sobbing kids as they think that a mudslide is going to come over our town, only to realize that, oh, it's just another false alarm, head back home. This is PTSD for everyone in our community. And SPU needs to take action and be accountable to what they've done to our community. We need to drain the dam, like Jessica said, and they need to do better for our community as a whole. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Sabrina Warren, and I represent the Riverview School District, especially transportation. I am the supervisor of transportation. Yesterday, in the city of Carnation at 10 o'clock, we had a false alarm go off with the alarm system for SPU. At 10:01, our department had already determined that it was a false alarm because we had called the control center at the dam, and they assured us that the dam was fully intact. At no time did the Riverview School District want to evacuate because we knew it was a false alarm. However, we knew it was a problem because, like you said, and we've all said, this is now the 8th time that this dam alarm has gone off, and it needs to stop. At 10:10, I called back up to the control center. I asked them, what's going on? Because once again, you know, we wanted to know what's happening. They still did not know that they were going to start the investigation of why the alarm had gone off again. At 10:21, I called back again because I'm on their case. I want answers. I want to know why we were being put through this, because the district has 1,400 employees and students that we are responsible to evacuate off the city floor in a matter of minutes, right? That dam is flowing. It will, if it is breached at full breach, you have like an hour and 10 minutes to get off the valley floor. That's what we train our kids every year to do. We are trained to do it. Okay. At 10:21, there was an all clear siren that came out. Unfortunately, people also mistook this one because you had to listen for it, because the first alarm that was false was garbled and faint. You could not hear it. This one was fully loud and boisterous out there, that this was the all clear. At 10:38, phone calls to everyone about the false alarm through the emergency system in King County came through. And then at noon, there was no regular alarm because the alarm got canceled unbeknownst to us, which I'm sure is due to the fact that everybody was already terrorized from the event that happened a couple hours before. At 12:28, SPU Control Center admitted that they felt that they had failed the public and they should have let the alarm go. So in all regards, student safety, community safety, the city of Carnation, all the stakeholders involved in this city, SPU needs to be responsible for their actions, and they need to be accountable for their actions. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ana Cortez, and I am the city manager for the city of Carnation. I want to address 2 partners that failed us yesterday once again. The first one is King County. King County is responsible for emergency communications. It failed this community last night. Yesterday was not the first time. King County has been unable to demonstrate that it can and that it will be a reliable partner. King County has one job. King County does not help evacuate. It does not help with funding. it does not provide any type of social capital. The one job they have is to help communicate the facts in a timely manner. The Office of Emergency Management failed to do this one job yesterday. We request a full investigation of King County's Office of Emergency Management, of its protocols, its budget, and its staff capacity. We ask Executive Constantine Down to please conduct a full investigation and assessment of the Office of Emergency Management. The City of Seattle is our second partner. It has demonstrated once again that it cannot safely, reliably operate the alarm system that is in place for the safety of this community. There are two sacred principles in government. One of them is predictability, the other one is consistency. Seattle has failed in these two areas. As of the time of this press conference, Seattle does not have an explanation for what happened yesterday. Our PIO shared with you the facts. The logical question is, how did that happen? Why did it happen? We do not have those answers from the City of Seattle as of right now. Seattle has displayed blatant disregard for the physical and mental well-being of this community. Last night, we directed Seattle to deactivate the alarm system. At this time, the system has become more traumatizing than the dam itself. The City of Carnation has no option other than to publicly and clearly take the following positions. Number one, we oppose the relicensing of the Tolt Dam, and we'll be taking the steps that are necessary to have those conversations and the proper documentation with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And number two, we will build a coalition to decommission the dam regardless of how many years it takes. We know it's not going to happen overnight. We know that it will be difficult. We know that it will be nearly impossible. But somewhere we have to get started, and we get started in 2024. Since 1964, the dam has endangered Carnation. Since 2020, Seattle has victimized Carnation time and time again. We will exhaust all measures until the dam is decommissioned. Thank you very much, and now we're going to open it up to questions.
Alrighty, at this time, is there any questions from the press?
Can you explain the legal challenge to this and how serious that is, how far along you are, how that logistically would work?
Yeah, so the city has taken the position that we will pursue legal action against the city of Seattle. Not quite sure what that looks like yet, but we will pursue action. It has to happen.
What have the conversations or the feedback with federal regulators been like so far to ask them to actually drain this dam?
So we are in the process of, we are working with FERC to become an intervening party with commission proceedings. So we're taking those steps right now. Yes, so those are the steps that have been taken.
The feedback that you've gotten from their side?
So we did have a visit with FERC a couple months ago, and the feedback that we received is that our evacuation plan is not sound. That is feedback we received from FERC. So we reached out last night, and we're awaiting more feedback.
I wasn't clear on, you've had these alarms before, false alarms before,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
What did the city or King County say about the false alarms? What did they say to make you feel like it was gonna be okay from now on?
I mean, the sad thing is we are on alarm malfunction number 8. So, you know, we are done with apologies. We are done with I'm so sorry, because it will happen again. We've been told that it won't happen again, and it keeps happening. So, as far as King County and the city of Seattle goes, we're on our own. The city of Carnation is on our own.
What are the fixes though that they said they would do to not have this, mitigate the alarms?
So, as city manager just said, in the past 24 hours, so the alarm happened at 10, it's 10 right now, 10-ish, they have not provided an explanation or steps forward. So they haven't. The simple answer is they have not provided steps.
What changes, if any, have you noticed since the updated system went live in October?
Oh, wow. So this updated, and we have members of the community here that are giggling. So, so we were promised that on October 18th, this was the date, October 18th, all of our problems are going to be solved. We are having a brand new upgraded system. We had Andrew Lee come, who is the head of Seattle Public Utilities, come and say, this is a state-of-the-art system. All your worries will go away. The sirens since that in October have been either way too quiet, the voice is far too muffled. There is messages both in English and Spanish that are impossible to understand either. Yeah, so it is not this state-of-the-art system. There's some areas that can barely hear it. So we are left with a system that is far worse since October 18th.
Are there any recordings of it going off yesterday? You guys have.
I'm sure there is some recordings out there from citizens. So our protocol here at City Hall is to evacuate. We are not waiting around to see if this is a false. We are getting to safety. So, yeah.
Could someone remind me of the timeline for the, when the license expires or when it,
When is it coming up?
commissioning is
I don't
up
know.
for
Yeah.
renewal or?
So the renewal process is extensive. It started in 2023, Joe, and then the next big milestone is 2028. So that's when all the documentation has to be submitted. Right now, what the city of Seattle is doing is created work groups. And so there's a work group for environment, a work group for operations, and so on and so forth. The city participates in that. Every stakeholder that will be impacted by the relicensing is supposed to be in the equation. It's a collaborative policy-making process. It's all wonderful and great. We don't need to meet for another 4 years to know what position we're taking. The problems that we have are not going away, and they will not go away because a new evacuation plan is submitted to FERC. There's a fundamental problem here, which is of lack of capacity and or willingness to ensure the safety of this community.
Mayor, city manager, can you clarify why this issue really started in 2020? You said that the dam has been around since the 60s. Why is it just a problem with the last 4 years?
That's the first time that it's been a false alarm. So in 2020, there was a false alarm. It was during COVID. Everybody was home at that point in time. It was widespread panic. We had gridlock on SR 203 on Entwistle. People could not evacuate. That's when it first came to fruition that we're having issues with this system. Since that time, SPU has promised to repair this and get us a better system. That hasn't happened.
And for people that aren't familiar with the area, if there was a true breach of that dam, what would happen?
You have about an hour to get off of the valley floor. And it's not just water that's going to come down that. It's going to be a wall of debris that comes down that causeway, down that stream. So, and we have to get to access points that are in the hills and out of here.
There was talk of an effort to seek compensation from the city of Seattle for not just the evacuation plan update, but for behavioral counseling and other things to deal with the community's trauma.
Mhm.
What happened with that?
We're still working on that. So it's just added to this, frankly, from what happened again, and what continues to happen. So that's still something that we're looking at.
You said that SPU promised to fix this. Is there a specific problem that they pinpointed that they need to fix?
No. The problem is that it keeps false alarming. There has been promises that we are going to have, first of all, a siren system that works, a siren system that will actually do a recall and all safe, so people know when they can come back. Additionally, there's promises to have road signs at the roundabout in Falls City and at 124th to keep people from coming into the city when we are trying to evacuate and people actually coming into harm's way. As of right now, none of those systems are in place and reliable.
One of the false alarms I saw was attributed to a worker who accidentally flipped it. That's the only explanation I've seen over the past 8. Do you have any other explanations? For
That's-
the 7, I guess?
That's the only explanation that we have of one that actually false alarmed, that somebody accidentally hit a button on that one incident. Other than that, we're flying blind,
Just undetermined?
undetermined at this point. Yeah. Yes.
Seeing as it took nearly 30 minutes for King County to confirm that this was a false alarm, are you guys concerned about alarms in the future for them to confirm that it is in fact a breach?
Absolutely. That's our number one priority. The fact that Riverview School District called in and got a line immediately, and no one called us, or we weren't able to call in when we tried to call in and find out, is concerning to us. Where's the break in the system? Where's the break in the processes that actually let citizens know, from the school district to the city to every stakeholder in the valley, what's going on with that dam at a moment's notice?
Was there an issue with the system, like, once it went off, you said you tried to call in and couldn't get through, correct?
Correct.
So what do you guys see to fix just for that in the meantime?
That's part of the 24/7 surveillance that we're asking for the city of Seattle to provide. We want either King County Sheriff, Eastside Fire and Rescue, to have actually people here in the city 24/7 so that we know they have direct communication with SPU. That's where we're at right now. Yeah.
Is the city feeling some sense of heightened responsibility on the amount of large developments they're allowing in town as far as the ability to evacuate?
We are under a 6-month moratorium for building right now. So,
Because of this?
not because of that specifically, but also we are taking a look at that in our housing action plan, and that's part of our housing action plan of pushing back with the state and the county because we do not have significant infrastructure to do that. All the developments that were active right now were approved before 2020 that are going up, so.
Right, are you saying then that possibly we should not be held to the Growth Management Act or things that have been put in place previous because of the situation of our town?
The Growth Management Act is a management act, and it's a two-way street. Right now, we are being told that we have to build houses. I was on a conference call this summer where the state said that the Carnation had to build an additional 800 homes. And I asked, in addition to what we have going on now? And they said yes. And I said, I'm pretty sure this looks really good on a whiteboard in Seattle, but it doesn't pencil out here. A comprehensive plan is a comprehensive plan. And a comprehensive plan needs to detail what the state and the county are doing to help support growth.
I just want to make sure that the fact that we have this dam issue and the need to evacuate sets us apart from other small towns.
That's our stance, absolutely. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'd like to thank our partners that showed up today, the press, citizens. It's a huge issue for the city, council members that are here today. So thank you all, and we'll keep you posted on what happens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that what you need? Is that what you need? Okay.
Thank you.